harbor waits. Lanterns sway where the tide line breaks. A crate from the cutter, burn a cold and worn. Whispers of relic, of secrets unborn. Loose tides they carry us far, through smoke and shadow, by lantern and star. What the tide takes, the tide will give in Kelpwood's alleys. Only the bold live. Fog in the reeds and doors in the mist. A ledger of secrets clutched in the fist. Chasing the barge through the mangrove maze. Steel in the water and eyes in the haze.
Technical difficulties there, folks. My apologies. Welcome, role players, gamers, geeks, freaks, and everyone in between. Welcome back to Deacon's Table. I am Deacon Blues, your resident dungeon master, and I will be guiding the storyline today with a wonderful cast of characters. Some you may remember from recent games and events, and some you may remember from events of the past. So it's welcome one and all. I'm glad you are able to join me. And I am, before I kind of go into too much more of the stuff, I'd like to introduce those people sitting on the screen in front of me. And I'm going to start with the person directly below me, is LivePlay. Wow, we've actually got an almost all Canadian crew tonight, just for the record. Just want to mention that. So, yeah. Oh. LivePlay, who are you and who are you playing, my friend?
I'm Dave. I'm playing LivePlay, the Ursa giant barbarian, big, lovable, dumb guy, just here to adventure and do whatever you can to help.
Excellent. And next to him is a brand new character for us. We've never had the pleasure of this person's company. Del, who are you and who are you playing this evening?
I'm Garrett. I'm going to be playing Del Ducal. He is a hill dwarf rogue, or ranger, I should say. Typical ranger, quiet, good with the bow, smokes a pipe, you know.
Probably not so typical, but we'll find that out, I'm sure. And returning after an absence of way too long is our wonderful co-streamer that has been with Deacon's Table now for quite a few years. And of course, welcome back, Ines Obi. Who are you and who are you playing?
Hi, I'm Ines, and I'm playing Celine Blackthorn, which is a cursed folk witch. Still figuring her out, but we'll find out who she is together.
Excellent. And last but not least was the hidden Fade Zamora. Who are you and who are you playing?
Hi there, I'm Jenny, and I am playing Fade Zamora. She is a draconic sorcerer. Of the dragon affinity is a native dragon to Foreverland, an ether dragon. So she has force affinity, and she is now level 6. She is a Umbrascion Celifern for her race species.
Yes. And for those of you that might be curious about some of these, well, we've got a standard hill dwarf ranger in the group, who in Foreverland is actually known as an off-world dwarf because they're not native to Foreverland, but they are. There's many from many worlds. There's all kinds of entities that end up in Foreverland. Which, if you're curious about it, go to the link that will be coming now across your screen for the rest of the stream, Yeah, that way you can't lose it. It's the lnk.bio/DeaconsTable, which will show you all of the links to all of our socials. The top one is the Discord. You can go on there and you get free access to everything Foreverland, all the regions, all the rule sets, all the individual original character classes, the approximately 70 or so ancestries that you can play. So yeah, there is lots of things on there. So you'll if you want to know more details, you can go there and get that information. If you don't want to become part of the Discord community, that's well. Go to our Ko-Fi link. Ko-Fi membership gives you free access to all the books that we produce. So again, that's some benefit that you might get there. So in the meantime, though, we are going to kind of get started with what we are here for, and that is the episode of Loose Tides. This is our first episode, of course, and this is Dockside Whispers. A bell tolls through Kelpwood's harbor, echoing off mast and stilted home. The early autumn tide sighs under a salt haze as dockhands heave a small crate from a low, creaking barge. Lanterns sway in the wind, casting long shadows of oilskin-clad watchers. Somewhere in the crowd, your paths cross. 4 strangers from different corners of Kelpwood. Canal runner, maybe. Tide marker trader, night pier watchman, a marsh guide. None of you, just came together on your own, yet feel the same pull towards whatever idea has been in your head, or you've heard, or curiosity may have been piqued towards this crate and the danger it promises. So let's kind of go through here and we'll see why each of you, and this is kind of giving our players a chance to explore their characters a little bit more and develop them a little bit more and flesh them out. So, Cassanthor, why does Cassanthor find himself oddly in this position, looking at the harbor and the docks, which he has done many times, but seems oddly drawn towards this unloading of a crate? Are you following rumors? Are you chasing someone down for something, hunting a mark, or just instinct, perhaps? Why is Cassanthor where he is?
Cassanthor is looking at the harbor. Since he's been working for Creek, he's experienced many things spiritually that he hasn't ever seen. And anytime something new comes into Kelpwood, he wants to learn about it and he wants to protect Kelpwood. So he's here making sure whatever's coming off is safe.
Makes sense. I'm going to kind of mix things up. I'm going to put Celine Blackthorn on the spot. Again, getting used to your character, which is completely understandable. And this is basically telling us who you want your character basically to be. Obviously, Creek as well. Creek has kind of maybe piqued your curiosity for the region because there's potion brings and ingredients and all kinds of wonderful things in the swamp. But right at this particular moment, why would Celine be kind of passing along the docks in Kelpwood at this hour?
Well, she's cursed, and I think she is always trying to know more about her curse and why it happened to her and what happened, who did this to her. So I would say that maybe she heard like a rumor, or like she was drawn to it and she's trying like to figure things out. She just like had a feeling that she had to be there at that time.
So a destiny moment. Like this is where Celine is supposed to be.
Yeah, exactly.
That makes sense. And what about our strange dwarf fellow, who is, and I say strange, by the way, but in context, he's really not. He's just a dwarf. He looks like as you said, Del, you're a hill dwarf ranger.
He's a typical dwarf. He's like maybe 3.5 feet, maybe 4 foot, close but not quite. He's got long red beard, braided beard, and a giant bow on his back. He just watches the water. He smokes a pipe every now and then. He keeps to himself very quietly, but he's eyeing everybody
So
else.
why would Del be suddenly his curiosity piqued at this moment as this scene has kind of unfolded?
I think it's just a feeling. He gets a sense of situations. He can kind of
Something instinctual.
Yeah. Well, like I said, he's a ranger, right? So
that gut feeling.
He works on
Something's
instinct, and so okay. He's always aware of everything around him, or at least he tries to be.
And our only PC storm warden in the party, Fade Zamora. Fade, what? I mean, again, you know Creek, you know Cassanthor. You've done tasks with them before, so you're familiar with the region. You are very well respected in the community for the most part, and so much so that you have been awarded a position as a storm warden within the confines of Kelpwood Marsh, which is, again, there's, as far as you know, you only know the person that brought you in. You don't know if there's other storm wardens. So it's whether it's one of those organizations or that it's brand new, you're not sure. But you are treated very, very well. So why would Fade at this moment? Were you out with Cassanthor? Were you just doing a general inspection of the court, the bazaar, and then look down at the docks and seen this? And it's like, what brings Fade to this moment? You're muted here.
Sorry. So
That's
since
okay.
Fade has become the storm witness, then she has been spending a lot of time in the bazaar. So if there was activity going on closer down the dockside end of it, she would probably have caught on to that and made her way down there. And,
paying attention and
right.
what she
If
does.
she saw Cass there, she would go over and greet him because she knows him and see what's up.
Okay. As you guys have been brought to Kelpwood for a variety of reasons. Some of you have been here for a while now. Some of you have just arrived, new to the scene. You have noticed throughout the course of the day that they seem to have a method of telling time here, which is the sounding of bells. If you had arrived early in the morning in Kelpwood, you would have heard one bell ring off at about 6 o'clock, 6:30 in the morning. Basically, with sun up, the bell goes off. And periodically throughout the day, and you'll hear 2 bells go off, and then 3, and then so on, up until 12 bells, which is about at 11 p.m. Every day, and then everything seems to kind of really die down, other than places like the Barnacle Barge, which people are out drinking and doing whatever. But there seems to be no time kept after 11 p.m. Nobody seems to care until it's 6 a.m. again. So it's kind of like an odd thing. And at this point, 5 bells have just tolled across Kelpwood's harbor. The echo has been rolling out over fog and water, and dock hands are grunting as they lift that barnacle-crusted crate from that low creaking barge. You see the lanterns sway in the wind. Fade, you're down there close by, throwing long shadows across these slick timbers of the docks. 2 of the oilskin-clad figures linger at the edge of the wharf. Their gaze fixed on the crate, but saying nothing. They're not having a conversation. They're looking at that crate. Gulls are still screaming overhead. The dock is oddly quiet for this time of day. All of you can roll me a perception check. I mean, obviously, Fade and Cass, you guys know each other are there, but you guys can still roll a perception check as well.
Eight. Cass doesn't see anything. He's literally just
You're
staring.
engaged in the conversation with Fade, so you are distracted there.
21.
Okay, Del, I'll take note of that. Celine, how did you do? You're muted, dear.
I forgot to bring my dice, so I'm trying to find a nut that I can roll a dice with.
Where's your real ones?
Somewhere in my moving stuff.
Do you have your Discord open?
Yes, I do.
You can run in there and just run the Avray through the Dicebot channel. I will see if I can tag you in the channel so you know exactly where to go. In case you can't find it.
Okay.
It is right in.
I promise next week I'll be more
No, it's
prepared.
okay. You know what? It's perfectly okay. It doesn't matter.
Call yourself
a lot of the
dice
times
goblin.
we prefer Avray because it gives not just me, but everybody gets a chance to, witness the dice roll. It's that way. There's never any questions asked as to why. So that's why, through our Discord, everybody voted, or almost unanimously to switch over to, Avray so that it's witnessed rolls and kept fair for everybody, right? So it doesn't matter if it's personal games. If I know you, you can in my game, but in other DMs they may not allow you to roll dice.
Can you send it to me in private? Because I have too many.
Pings.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'll get the.
I have 556 pings.
God.
Holy crap! There's some of your stuff out there, Inez. That's crazy. Okay, here we go.
I'm not really on Discord anymore, so I need to. Okay. I have
Get it?
it. Yeah, I'm in it, and then.
So to roll
What's
a
the command?
d20.
Mhm.
So to roll a d20, it's !R, space, the number D, and then the letter D, lowercase d, the dice size. So it would be 1d20. And then if you, whatever modifiers you have, so if you have proficiency +2, +5, plus that, whatever it is, put that right beside it. No spaces, just all together and hit enter, and then you give me the number.
Okay, perfect. And you said we needed to roll for perception?
Yes, for perception.
And I'm sorry, guys. What is the I'm trying to find because I'm so used to D&D Beyond.
It's okay. If you just scroll down, it'll be
I
under
have a
skills.
+5.
Under wisdom, yeah.
Perfect. +5. 11.
11. Okay, so that is that. And Fade, what did you roll?
17.
So Fade and Dell, you both noticed that there, other than those two odd oil-clad figures down at the end of the wharf that were watching that crate, you notice that there are other individuals that seem more inclined to be like yourselves watching that crate and that particular transaction as well. Del, you notice this large Ursus bearfolk kind of watching around the area, but he's mostly focused on this this woman that he's standing with, who's Fade, who he's having a conversation with her, but she's clearly watching that particular crate. You also notice this odd looking witch character she probably looks more localized to this swamp. She probably looks more like some of the native swamp folk than what you're used to. But this individual is also looking at that crate. But Fade and Dell, your eyes cross at one point where you notice each other looking, kind of doing that.
Yeah, sure.
Right? You know, that feeling you get when you kind of cross eyes with some, oh shit, I just made eye contact type of deal.
I'll give her a nod. Just hit a.
Dude, not bad.
So you two have acknowledged now that there are others involved in this, or at least to each other, that you're there, right? So at this point, going back to where we were with these figures lingering at the edge of the wharf, watching that crate being unloaded, the gulls overhead and everything else, and that weird quiet, do you attempt to trail the crate, approach those watchers, or just kind of examine the situation a little bit more closely in the dockside activity? What would you do, Cass?
Cass would he would ask the watchers to stop to see if he would let him kind of inspect the crate.
You kind of want to approach the watchers?
Yep.
And Fade, because you two are together, Fade, what would you like? He wants to go and inform the watchers, to kind of tell them to.
I also would go up
Influencing.
to inspect the crate a little more.
So you
I don't
have
know.
that same intention. The two of you want to approach
Watchers,
the
do
Watchers.
you mean like wardens? What do you mean by watchers?
Well, you're not sure what they were. They're two figures that stand out at the edge of the wharf that are watching this same transaction that you're watching, but watching it differently. They don't care about anything else. They're focused on that crate and that crate alone. They have they look different. So he wants to approach them. You want to approach them. That's your goal, correct?
She would act quite confident and to careful there, and try to kind of help with bringing this crate in.
Okay, so
And
you
watching
want to
those
go
other two
and
watchers.
offer your assistance, and Cass, you want to tell them to stop.
Yeah, so they're staring at the crate. I feel something weird about the crate. I want the unloaders, I want them to stop so we can check the crate.
Okay, so you're going directly to them, but just tell them to stop so you can inspect it. So you want to examine the crate.
Yes.
So you're attempting to examine. Fade, you want to actually talk to the watchers there. Del, because you and Celine are separate, I'm going to have to do each of you separate. Del, what you see what they've just done, that they've kind of walked up together. However, Cass, the big Ursus bear folk stops at the dock hands that are unloading the crate, whereas Fade kind of proceeds a little bit past to talk to those two watchers at the edge of the wharf. So you see them going to do that because you have already clocked them. You know that they are watching the same thing you are with what you think is the same intent. So what are you doing?
I want to try to stealthily approach behind them so that I can hear what they're doing, but try to kind of blend into the background. You know how I'll pretend to do something near them. I'll have my back turned to them or something like that. So
you're trying to kind of follow along and just be unnoticed and stand back.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to blend in as much as I can.
All right. And Celine, what are you? You haven't really noticed that there's other people there for the same reason you are. You've seen something has piqued your curiosity with this crate. You see what's going on. You now see as this large bear folk, an Ursus bear folk, approach the dock hands. You see a cloaked individual approach the watchers from the side, and you see. Well, you don't notice actually. Well, we don't know yet. We'll find out how. Well, actually, roll a stealth now ahead of time, Del, just to kind of know where we're at.
For sure. 14.
Okay, so it's still above what she originally rolled for. So she doesn't notice you. She doesn't know where you are. So what are you doing at this point? Are you trying to get closer to the crate? Are you trying to go and approach the watchers as well? You want to go and investigate, be direct, or just,
I would like to know first, Deacon. I do have a familiar named Nyx, who is my shadowy kind of raven. If I send Nyx, it would be like perch on my shoulders, and I could send Nyx. Fly
Nyx
around a little bit.
Because Nyx is a familiar. Nyx can basically sort of appear on your shoulder whenever you wish, and you can instruct your familiar to do what you wish.
And can I have a direct connection with Nyx in a sense that if I send Nyx approach it, can I go back in the shadows and I can feel or sense a little bit of what he sees?
I'm trying to remember the ability that you have. I do believe the witch does get that ability, and because you are 5th level, I think you can visually see and hear through the eyes of your familiar. You can't, you can't speak through it. You can't do any of that kind of stuff, but you can see through its eyes. But yeah, you are kind of out of it, so you're kind of stepping back into the shadows.
Yeah.
And focusing and going into your mind, and then therefore going into its mind.
Yeah.
So yeah, you
can
I
think
do that.
That's what I would do. Celine would go in the shadows, hide a little bit because she doesn't like being in public and
Okay.
getting.
I'm going to have you make
attention.
a stealth roll as well.
Perfect.
So you can make a stealth check.
Uh,
Fade, you were approaching the Watchers. I need you to make either a persuasion or an intimidation, depending on what your kind of intent is. So, nice.
I have a 22.
Okay, so Celine is nowhere to be seen. And Dell, you've kind of now clocked this because again you've originally clocked that there was 4 of you. Now you only notice 3 for some reason, and it just seems you don't know where she went, but she's not there. So you are well hidden. Oh my god, what do you got, Fade?
14.
Okay, 14. Were you trying to intimidate or persuade?
I think I'd probably have done persuasion.
Okay. They clam up. They say nothing. Cathanthor, you were moving to stop them and examine the crate.
Yes.
Make me an investigation roll.
Dun, dun, dun. Uh-oh. Oh. 17.
Okay. They don't stop unloading. They're still unloading the stuff from this skiff because it's their job. And you don't have like an official capacity in which to actually stop them. But they don't stop you from kind of looking around and being curious and examining things. You notice faint black coral resin and a spiral shell chalk mark. Symbols not of the black current, but of the black coral exchange. And so the markings are slightly different. This is like seems to be like a really high-end valued trade item that's in this particular crate. So it's of some value, of importance to somebody. That's what you've noticed. As for the 2 of you that are in hiding, you are unnoticed. You are basically in the shadows, getting a better look at the situation. Any checks in the next scene, you will get at advantage. So you know that ahead of time. So at this point, you 2 are hidden, so you're not really involved. I think, Fade, you're too far out now. So Cathanthor, you at this point gain some attention on the docks. A belligerent dockhand from another skiff unloading comes up to you and starts yelling at you. You're interfering with the unloading of our thing. And it looks like he's half in the bag. You're interfering with our business. What do you do?
Of course I'm interfering. This crate doesn't feel right.
I'm not talking about that crate. I'm talking about our business over there. You came by and you interfered. At this point, you all notice the commotion. There is some. He's not one of the dockhands that were removing this barnacle encrusted crate. He's from one of the other skiffs on the docks that have come over and seem to be trying to pick a fight with the Ursus, accusing him of interfering with their business over with their goods. So what's everybody else doing as they notice?
They would walk back over to where Cass is. And
okay. And are you using a fishing capacity?
Sure.
Are you going in? So you are
going
over with
Storm Witness. She'll bring out her little sigil, show that, put it back in her book pouch, and she would say,
"You do have a renown with Storm Witness, correct?"
Yes, +2.
Okay, and it's a +2. So you will make an intimidation roll with a +1 bonus because you are using your clout. Are you assisting that, Cass?
Oh, I am assisting.
So you're kind of buffing up behind her, standing guard as she does that. So it's an intimidation Fade at advantage with a +1 bonus on top of all your other mods.
Do I just add it into my mod, or do I have to plus mod +1?
No, you just add it into your mod. Like if you got a +5 and if you get a +1, you now it's +6. So
natural 20.
I got an 11, so total of 16.
That's with advantage?
Oh, yep.
Okay. A 16?
Yes.
Okay. As you're over and you're trying to settle this situation in official capacity, because you know Cassanthor had nothing to do with the other
Yes,
shipment
say something to that effect.
down the way, and it seems to be kind of interfering with what's going on right now in this particular. I don't know what to call a mooring. I guess there's different moorings. So where this is being unloaded, but this particular dockhand that's picking on Cassanthor is a disheveled coastal-born human, a little bit frail-looking, looks a little malnourished, and he reeks of ale and saltfish. His eyes are kind of like bloodshot. His hands are raw from hauling the net lines in. So he's like an old, cantankerous, drunken fisherman. He looks at you, and he looks at you, and it looks up at that Cass, and at that point he's like, "Keep your noses out of businesses that ain't yours," and he walks and stumbles back and starts heading back towards the other mooring. Is anybody else doing anything at this point?
What are
Sounds
the
like you should
two?
take his advice.
What are the two watchers doing while all this is happening? Guys who are keeping the eyes on.
They're just kind of watching as this kind of goes on. And as everything's de-escalating and you're watching, they're not really doing anything specifically except for watching the situation. Through the mist, though, a familiar figure emerges, at least a familiar figure to Fade and Cassanthor. Del and Celine as well. If you feel your characters would have passed through or spent any time at all in the Barnacle Barge Tavern, since coming to Kelpwood, you would recognize this figure. The figure is Maevah Shanks. Maevah is a striking, fire-touched Cellophane woman whose curled black horns sweep back from her brow. Her skin is a deep crimson, patterned with tattoos of waves and anchors, and her eyes gleam with a sharp ocean blue light. A heavy chain is wrapped at her belt, and she carries herself with ease or someone who knows how to fight dirty. The faint scent of tobacco and sea salt clings to her. Her boots make no sound on the slick planks as she sidles close. She crouches for a moment, one hand resting casually on a dockside anchor, almost like she's grasping it as a weapon. And her voice drops low. Every movement feels deliberate, as though she weighs every shadow and witness, giving the scene she lives balanced on the edge of danger. You can tell she's poised for something. And then she kind of looks up, and as you guys have all kind of found your way, moving closer to the scene, two of you a little bit unseen, not knowing, one of you really unseen, the other one a little bit unseen, and the other two kind of directly now involved. And Maevah looks up, and she's like, "If you're sniffing after that box, you're not the only ones. Word is something from that missing cutter is changing hands tonight." And she's looking at the crate. "I can point you to the right alleys if you've got the steel to follow." Because again, at this point, you're kind of looking at the situation. If you openly attempt to take, if you openly attempt to take the crate, you're committing a crime, and you know that. They have a right to do business. It has a right to be here. It has a right to a transaction. Fade would know that specifically. So whether or not you follow it and perhaps get your hands on it through one method or another, that's going to be up to you. So if you trust her lead, do you want to kind of investigate maybe a little bit more, or just kind of split up and just do your thing?
Aid would say, "Thank you, Maevah. I trust your opinion." And look to Cass and nod.
Yeah, I trust you, Maevah.
No, two in the shadows. Del, you get looked at. She doesn't notice Celine. Del, you get looked at, and again, she kind of look. You can tell she's looking at you. What about you?
What about me?
Are you interested? Have you got the steel? And even as a hill dwarf, you know what that means. Like she's basically saying, you got the balls. You got what it takes, right? So she's kind of.
All dwarves have balls hidden beneath their beards.
She actually take inspiration, please. She erupts in a chorus of laughter at that. She says, "I'm going to remember that. The dwarves have balls hidden beneath their beards."
He says, "Yeah, of course I'll go along with you."
So again, I'm going to ask you, Celine, even though she's not looking at you, she has no idea. What is your intent?
So right now, no one can see Celine. I feel like
you don't know. They don't notice you.
Yeah, they don't notice me. I feel like the crow Nyx could be noticed. But I guess no one knows Nyx is with me. So like she would be perched somewhere, and I would see through her eyes, and I would just like spy on them because she would like to hear the conversation and kind of like follow them and like see what it's all about without being like directly involved with them, because she doesn't trust those people. She doesn't know them. She doesn't know what's the lady's name, the new
Maevah. Maevah is the
yes.
Yeah, she's a Celifern.
Yeah, she's never been in the tavern. She doesn't know Maevah. Like she's following but like hiding.
So about, again, the name that you recognize, Cassanthor, or the thing that came to your mind was Traces of the Black Coral Exchange, which again is a trade organization, but it's known more as an auction house for maybe some shadier goods, stuff that they don't really want noted. It's still legit, it's still watched, but it's just kind of one of those places that we look the other way a little bit. We let them have their way here. You all learn this, or at least the three of you pick it up, because Maevah tells you directly that the passphrase to get into the auction is "Tide takes, tide gives."
Sorry, it's what now?
It's "Tide takes, tide gives."
Okay, cool. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay. Maevah tilts her chin towards the gold-darkened alleys. I say alleys, and sometimes I'll say streets, but it's deckways and plankways and causeways and rope bridges, and that's their streets. That's their roads.
Some are more alley-like than others.
Yeah.
Some of them do look. Yeah, they look a little bit alleyway for sure. She points. She kind of nods her chin towards that area. The auction's not till moonrise. Find the door before they move the prize. Keep low. Keep quick. The tide laps hungrily at the pilings below, as you the three of you anyway, and Celine in tow. How far back are you staying from Nyx? 30 feet, 60 feet?
I would say 30 feet.
30 feet? Okay.
Yeah.
So we are going to, as they move forward, I'm going to put, I keep forgetting to change the scenes here, guys.
Do we get to roll perception to notice Nyx and or Celine?
Yes, the three of you will get to roll perception again. And Celine, you can make me another stealth roll because you're only 30 feet behind. Nyx is not noticed, I can tell you that. Easy shadow.
Wow.
Ooh.
9. Cass doesn't see anything. He's just staring straight ahead.
24.
Okay. Celine, what did you roll for stealth?
23.
Oh, so Del, you notice barely. You barely make out a kind of a shadowy shape against one of the mangrove branches. Fade, what did you roll?
Oh, a 3 and a 2. A total of 7.
Oh, and that's with advantage.
Yes, 3 and a 2.
Oh my,
Advantage because of her Celifernum Skyon, being that she's in shadows, so she
oh my goodness.
gets advantage on
my goodness.
perception checks
So
and
the only
shadow.
one that notices is Dell. So Dell, you notice that you've got a tail.
Does it
and
look like
seems to
she's
be
trying
connected-
to... Sorry, I apologize. Does it look like she's trying to hide?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm not going to say anything just yet then.
But again, this is the individual you recognized from the beginning that went missing.
Yeah, sure.
So, and with that high as well as perception, you also know that they seem to be tied to a raven that shadowed up on one of the nearby mangrove trees.
Okay. Good to know.
So you have noticed that as you, yeah.
And are Cass and Fade coming alongside Adele now at this point?
You guys are kind of in the same vicinity. I'll say, like, all of you as a group, other than Celine,
sure.
who's back, you're all within, like, because again, you're kind of around the warden, around Maevah. She was kind of gathered around these dock hands and the business going on. So you're all within the vicinity of each other.
Okay.
Dell will look over at the two and then he'll nod and say, I'm Dell. I just arrived here. That's me.
And Faye, this is you two. You made eye contact already. You've made a nod of acknowledgement that you know. So you kind of have. So now he's introduced himself to the two of you.
Fade Zamora.
You are hearing all this, Celine. By the way, no problem.
I've been here in Kelpwood for a month and a half, maybe.
Ooh.
Know my way around pretty well.
Isn't it, with all the docks and ropes and such?
You get used to it.
Yeah, it's okay here. The eel's good. Cass hands out some eel jerky. Have you had this yet? Sorry, he leans down, way down.
He goes to hand you a piece of dried eel meat. Or dried or smoked. You're not quite sure.
Smoked eel.
I'll give it a whirl, sure. Thanks.
It's a bit like a jerky, but a little softer, and it does have a smoked fishy taste.
Huh. Eh?
I have tons if you like it. He has a pouch just full of it.
Yeah, he takes
sure
that
I'll
as payment
use
for some of his tasks around town. he's loaded when it comes to eel.
Oh, it's so good.
Do I want to know where you got that much eel?
People just give it to me.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of the carts and vendors around here smoke it and sell it.
You guys are kind of drawn together, and you're kind of been nudged down this darkened area of the walkways, very similar to what there's lantern lights and whatnot. Is you're kind of, it's a more quiet area that you're kind of nodded towards. You've heard rumor that there are auction houses. Again, Cass, do you share with everybody the Black Coral Exchange, or do you keep it to yourself? What would Cass do with that information?
Oh, yeah, Cass would definitely let him. Sorry, I didn't realize you were speaking to. Yeah, Cass would definitely be talking to Fade on the way down. Why his perception was so low, he's only concentrating on telling her that. Being loud enough so Del can hear as well.
So you all get the information. I mean, again, Celine, you're not really familiar with any of this stuff. Del, you're new to the region. Fade, you know the Black Coral Exchange. It's one of those areas. It's the gray area. Again, you know there is illegal activity that happens in Kelpwood, illegal trading. It's still kept fair, which is your department. The trades are fair regardless, but some of the goods that are sold through that exchange are not always the most legally acquired. Is a good way of putting it. So,
Okay.
So you're aware of that. So as you guys are proceeding, the alleys, which again is the deckways and causeways, There are a tangle of rope bridges and leaning walls, and the smell of smoke and brine is everywhere from the stilted homes and shops nearby. Nets drip from beams overhead, and you catch glimpses of, gamblers inside certain windows tossing dice. You get some that are sitting on their front decks, drinking out of a jug or a crate, like you would see in swampland, Louisiana type of deal, right? So that's the maybe a stereotypical view of that situation. You're catching these small glimpses. You see trades in the distance. Fade, you picked that up quite clearly, that are taking place here and there in darker corners. Handshakes, everything's being done. So as far as you can tell, professionally. And then finally you get to a spot where there's a chalk spiral half hidden beneath peeling paint on one of the dwellings. Somewhere in this maze of deckways and that you've gone through and wound through, this trail has led to this particular spot. How do you proceed? You see kind of an open, just 1 second here if I can get that. I think I'll be loading this up. Yeah, we're putting this in. Next is this.
Kind of like a courtyard?
Ooh, nice. No, it's a building.
Oh.
Yeah, it is a definite building. Do you try to blend in when you come in? Like you're asked the passcode. And this is where actually we're going to have to take a moment here, because 3 of you have the passcode to get in. One of you does not because you're not present. And unfortunately, the Shadow Raven cannot enter the building without being kind of obvious. So what is Celine doing as you see this group of 3? And the item was taken back to another entrance at this building and had gone in through with the dock hands with them. These guys are going in with there's a group of people that are here, like a gathering. They're being stopped at the door and being asked something, and then they're one by one they are making their way into this particular building. What are you doing at this point?
I had the same question as Cass. Like, if Nyx was close, wouldn't they have heard the passcode? If Nyx was close enough?
Yeah, I'd say the passcode, but now you have,
because that's what I had in my mind, but I can figure something else.
So Nyx at this point probably returns to your shoulder.
Yeah,
and
coming
then,
back, disappearing.
And then you appear at the door, and they ask you for the passcode, and you're able to give it. And at this point, so when you guys are standing there, are you attempting to blend in? Are you attempting to kind of talk to more of the locals that are here? Follow signs, climb above. Like there's multiple levels here. You're trying to get like a higher ground. What is?
Whereabouts did they take the crate?
You notice them go through a side door, and you do not see the dock hands in this particular room you've entered into. This seems to be like the auction room floor. There are back rooms as well.
Does it look like there's a door that leads to the area that they took?
There looks like there could be a couple doors that lead to it in the back, behind the crowds of people.
Sorry, go ahead.
Fade would probably suggest let's find a table here in the central area, but a little bit off to the side, but where we can see what's going on. Be there for the auction.
Are there tables
blending in?
Are there tables on the second floor or just the first floor?
There is actually a couple of there's seating areas. There's like tables for 2, a few of them. A lot of them are just stools at a drinking shelf in front of them. There is a couple of larger tables though up, pretty much like you're seeing there, up like a rickety. It's more of a rickety than what you're seeing there. It's more of a rickety staircase going up to that level. And
if there's a free table up above, I would suggest there, because you get a better vantage point from who goes in. Like you can see kind of more people deep in the crowd. You won't get lost. If there's anybody that goes indoors, but it's up to the rest of everybody else. I don't want to.
Fidel suggesting going up the stairs. If you're at the top of the stairs from that table, there is a spot up there. There is an empty table. You'd be able to see pretty much all of the lower room as well as the upper room, but you wouldn't be able to see anything directly below the stage or below the floor you're on.
Always get the
like an
higher
overhang.
ground if you can.
Well, that makes sense, Del. I mean, you are kind of short, so you would have to get high.
Well, you see, that's the thing, right? I like to be as tall as I can all the time. If that means I have to go upstairs, so be it.
Sounds good.
I don't know. They would maybe say, okay, that's a good idea. Maybe I'll stay down here where I can see this area too. She would, try to find a smaller table off to the side on the main floor to kind of keep track of that area that they can't see when they're up there.
Okay.
So we have two sets of eyes from two different vantage points.
And what about Celine? What's Celine doing once? Because again, you've kind of come in on your own. The three of them seem to have kind of almost loosely banded together, and you're just a little bit off to the back as you enter last. What are you attempting to do?
I was reading my spell, so can you just quickly remind me what everyone is doing? Because I was trying to figure out some stuff for Celine.
Okay, so Cass and Thor and Del are headed upstairs to an empty table at the top of the stairs. Fade seems to be moving off to a table off to the side, a place to sit down on this lower level. So that's what you've witnessed.
So they're not sitting down together. Fade is on her own.
But Cass and Thor and Del seem like they're together now, and then Fade is kind of split off from them and gone her own way.
Okay, so I feel that I would I would put my hood as best as I could on my face so nobody can recognize my feature, and then I would try to find the door that would lead me to the crate.
Okay. You see that underneath the upper level where the two have gone to sit, and not far from where Fade has gone to sit, there is doors there, but they are, you notice now at your point, because what you've intended to do, you notice they are well guarded. And there seems to be an area there that has been cleared for someone to come out like they're going to be holding an auction.
Okay.
So as you guys push through, and you know, there's heavy net curtains above areas, and into this smoke-filled room. You know this place, Fade, by name. You didn't know how to get here or exactly, but now that you're here, you know this is a place known as the Weeping Net. It's basically a place for the Black Coral Exchange to hold auctions. It's also a place for a lot of shadier deals for items that probably should not be sold within Kelpwood, to some people's opinions anyway. But the smoke curls in this room in heavy sheets, carrying the scent of cloves, right, and brine. Lanterns swing on crooked beams, casting card tables in restless shadow. Silver shells clink across felt as gamblers laugh too loudly. And in one corner, the stairwell goes up. But you also know that off behind it, right behind two of these oil skin, long coat clad individuals, is a stairwell that drops into deeper darkness. Curtained off with a red sailcloth. It's different than the other back doors. So, with that, you do not see that entrance, Del and Casanthor. You see Fade go off to sit at a corner seat. You do clock Celine at this point, who has come in. This individual, Del, that you've recognized that she was watching as well, has come in and kind of been off to the back watching a little bit as well what's going on. So you don't see that. Celine, you do notice this entranceway. You notice Fade. You notice Celine at this point, and you notice as well that there is this other entrance or exit from this room that seems to be a little bit different than the rest.
Okay.
What are you doing? Are you kind of mingling? Are you gambling, watching the stair, or trying to actually get in there? What's the intent, guys?
Waiting for the auction.
So you're just kind of sitting back, watching.
Oh, is it drinks? Do we order drinks?
Oh yeah, there is a bar. There is no wait staff here. You see people get up, go to the bar, get their drink, and go sit down. There does not seem to be, other than patrons or customers and guard, there is no, and the bartender who appears to be as big as a guard. That's all that.
Is there anyone having conversations near us about the auction? Like when it's going to start, maybe, or what they're going to offer, or anything at all?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're
listening in on conversations on the upper level.
Yeah.
Okay. And Celine and Fade and Castlethor and Castlethor as well. What are you guys? Or you're Castlethor? You're at the top. What are you doing? You notice Dell's just kind of quietly sitting there.
Yeah, he notices Dell is sitting. Cassador is not. He's not subtle in any way. His hands are on the railing, and he's staring down into the crowd, always talking at Faye to make sure she's okay. But he's just intensely staring, looking, not really knowing what he's looking for, other than the crate that came in. He's just
okay.
Fade is now very interested in this other single female that she sees come on in, and tilts her head, gets up, goes to the bar, gestures at Celine a little bit, holds up 2 fingers, points to the bar. So she's kind of asking you. You can tell Celine she's kind of asking you, "Am I getting you a drink too?" And she shifts her head to point at her table.
I'm gonna go sit at the table. Just like I don't nod, I don't do nothing. I just go sit.
Just quietly.
I'll pick up 2 drinks and bring it back and put one in front of her and sit down with mine. Relax back and sip like I belong there.
So Celine kind of shambles over to the table and sits. This individual, she looks like she could fit into any forest, any swamp, any marsh, any natural setting. Looks like she belongs.
Do I see any sort of what am I trying to say? Focus, like I would recognize, being that she's.
Are you wearing anything like that, Celine? Are you wearing any?
It is definitely on her neck. Crystal.
I don't think so. Do I have? Wait, I'm gonna go see.
Like even the image that was there, you can use that image if you like as her likeness, but it's up to you what you.
Well, I think she would see like my silver locket. That I have so wear like a cloak with a hood, and then the only thing not black that you can see on me is like the little silver locket that I have. But I don't think that would be recognizable. I don't think it would give any clue.
So it's just a personal item then, basically, a locket.
Yeah.
So it just looks like a natural, like a native to the lands, dark clothing. But the only thing that does stand out is the fact that a silver locket. I mean, that's not something you normally see from just everybody, but it stands out. Yeah. All black silver locket.
Yeah, that's kind of what Fade's kind of wearing.
So you're observing all this going on. Castlethor, you're doing your thing. Dell, you're listening in to conversations. Dell, the conversations up here, these are individuals that you can tell are involved in their own trades and businesses. They don't seem to be concerned about the auction at all. Okay. They kind of think it's foolish because taking a chance on items unknown. So again, you're getting the idea that whatever's being auctioned off is sight unseen.
Is what now?
Sight unseen.
Sight unseen. What does that mean?
Such as they're auctioning the crate without knowing what the contents are.
Oh, okay. So it's like Storage Wars, almost like that. kind of
Yeah.
It's a terrible example.
So they're kind of making fun of the people with more shell marks than brains down below, right? Cassanthor, you just see different groups. I mean, most groups are doing their own thing and they're having conversations and they're doing little gambling routines going on. But you do see there's kind of like an anticipation, especially at the people right below you, focused at something behind or beneath you that would be on the lower floor, but the people, whatever's going on beneath where you're standing at this moment. So Celine and Fade, again, you're seeing like this anticipation of people watching towards the front of the room, under the upper level, which seems to be an area where things are going to happen. It just seems the way it's looking. The laughter, however, at this point cuts off as a chair off on the other side of the room scrapes. A burly fellow, a gambler, slams his fist on the table, shouting accusations of cheating. The smoke seems to thicken, tension crackling. Other smugglers are shifting in their seats, looking a little bit uncomfortable with the situation. Eyes flick to some of you on occasion as outsiders, unknowns in this particular environment. Wrong place, the wrong time, perhaps. A scarred smuggler rises, his finger heavy with rings, and he flips a card table towards you. This is for Celine and Fade, because you're down below. So he flips this card table out towards you guys as his cronies shout. What is your Celine and Fade, as this is all kind of breaking down, and it just seems like, again, there was already tension building, and whatever incident triggered this has just kind of set this off. Are you attempting to de-escalate? Are you trying to bluff your way through the situation, or are you going to put up a fight?
I mean, maybe I understood not well because I'm French Canadian, but I would like to start because Celine wants to get in the area where there's going to be the auction, right? And she cannot do it on her own. And I think she wants to use Fade. So I think she's going to look at Fade. And the only word she's going to speak are like, you want to get inside with me? Like the door, like... If, I don't know if it's clear. Am I clear?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we're getting through those guards, but we got to worry about these yahoos here that are trying to create trouble.
Okay, so I'm gonna start a bar fight.
I think he's already started that. We just got to decide.
So you're gonna give it a fight.
I'm gonna give in. I'm gonna start a bar fight and then try to like slide my way through to get to that freaking door. I think I'm gonna maybe because I have thaumaturgy. I don't know if I said it real. Yes. And I think I'm gonna like dim the lights a little bit.
Okay.
You know, so we cannot see really well. And I can do 3 at the same time. So I think maybe I am going to do a distant whisper at the same time to the guy like who yelled at us, and like I'm assuming he's pretty drunk. Or
they're
on the verge of.
Yeah, basically you've got a situation where you've got 2 dock bruisers that are there and this card shark that kind of stand out in this situation. So there's kind of like 3 individuals that are really tense at the moment that look like they're ready to fight.
Okay, so I'm gonna insult them by a distant whisper.
Okay, so using a distant whisper.
Yeah, and see if they bite to it, and if they do, I am gonna create a harmless tremor in the ground.
Okay, what is their required role?
Thaumaturgy, casting 1 action, range 30 feet.
It's the whispers that I need to target.
It just says create an instantaneous sound. Example, raven call, distant whisper. It doesn't.
Okay, so they're hearing a distant whisper like a distraction.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's see. One of the bruisers seems distracted. So does the other bruiser. However, the card shark is not distracted at all. All right, so you've taken that particular action. Fade, what are you doing? As you kind of see her just make a few odd little gestures, and perhaps things are happening.
I'm smiling too.
With that little
Instead-
devilish grin.
She tries to be a little intimidating and say, not against a good brawl, but we're about to start the auction here. Maybe after, she says, and looks at them with the arms crossed, looking rather
Roll me an
ferocious as she
intimidation.
can. Ferocious as she can. Rolling, that's 12 plus intimidation, which makes that a 16. Got my handy dandy little
16, he
Base
hesitates. And he looks towards the front of the room and actually glances towards that red curtain area. And then back to you. Perhaps you're right. And he steps back. So the two bruisers at this point now that were distracted have looked to him, and they also step back. Just kind of like intimidated, but to the point of realizing perhaps you're right. As you see, again, a lot of activity around that front area. It seems to be completely clear, however, from the red curtained area all the way to the front of the room, beneath the stairs. You guys are all in different places around the room. The table that's been flipped over in front of Celine and Fade is being righted and put right. But a deep chime, and you all hear it, even on the upper floor, echoes from below. The gamblers themselves in the room and the customers, you see them stiffen. They push their chairs back one by one. They slip to the front of the room where there seems to be a line being maintained by those oil-skinned coats wearing individuals that line them up, and one by one they slip towards the curtain stair. The stair, yawns into dark color, like the stone cold, salt colored darkness below. You see it kind of open, there's blackness, and they one by one they go below. What do you guys do? You're no, again, remember, Castanthor, you are upstairs looking down, so you kind of see part of the front row activity. Del, you're still up there at the same table, but you're focused on what's going up here on top. And when the chime goes off, these guys are, again, there's a lot of chatter at the other areas of, laughter at fools, idiots, that kind of talk going on. But you don't know what's going on below. What are you doing, Del, as you're hearing that chime and you see Castanthor leaning over the rail looking down below?
I think I'll go over to Castanthor and see if I can get a better look of what's happening, because I'm kind of confused as well.
Looks like some guys are going to fight. And then Fade said something with her new friend. And they backed down. I think we should go down.
Well, we should start the buyer fight down there.
Caswell, head down.
Caswell's going to start going down the stairs. Are you going to follow, Del, or?
Yeah, I'll follow. Yep.
So Celine and Fade, you're seeing people kind of, again, form a kind of a lineup, and they're being ushered towards this curtained area, which leads to stairs that go down. Now, keep in mind, this building is probably about 30 feet above the swamp waters on high stilts. Like, it's a big building that's set into the swamp. So this going down, it could be going down just to water level for all you know, or again, you don't know where this leads to. So what is Celine and Fade doing as now Castanthor and Del are coming to join?
We'll get in the line to go on down, follow everybody.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So the four of
I'm
you.
gonna
Yep.
try to skip the line.
What do you mean?
Make me-
You mean
But
Not
like
just-
like go in front of someone like
You're trying to cut in.
yeah.
put into the
Make
line?
me a-
Okay.
Make
I
me
want
a
to get in
stealth check.
fast. Like I want to see what's like. I'm a bit impatient. It's not that she doesn't like Fate. It's just like she's used to being alone, so she's like, I'm gonna
She's thinking for herself, being independent.
nothing
So
against it.
you can make me a stealth check to see if you can cut in line.
Whew. One roll, 20 plus 7. 20.
Okay. You kind of lose. You guys are headed towards the line, and you're lining up and getting ready, but you lose sight of the other individual that's been joined up with you. Again, this is the second time, Del, you've kind of lost track of where she's headed. She's somewhere in this line. Maybe she's ahead, maybe she's behind. You're not really sure, but she has gone on. But eventually, you guys all do come through. But Celine, you are the first to witness what happens as you go down these darkened stairs. Sure enough, it kind of comes down to a plankway again. So the stairs come down a plankway, and you're basically outside, but underneath the main part of the building. It twists down beneath sagging beams and dripping nets, leading to a lantern lit undercroft where tied sloths against the pilings. A heavy sailcloth door bears the spiral shell mark. Two broad-shouldered bouncers stand watch, while a narrow-eyed woman behind a tally scribbles notes. Nets creak overhead, and faint metallic jingles hint at the more than watchful eyes. You are noticed. You're not invisible. You did cut in line and get through the curtain, which is fine. So you are kind of at the head of the line. So what are you doing at this point? Are you like flashing a token? Are you speaking the passphrase again? Are you trying to kind of bluff your way in, or search for kind of another path?
So they're blocking the path?
Yep, you can't go through. From what you see, you can't go any further without getting past this woman and these two watchful guards.
Okay, so we needed the password to get inside the bar, right? So I think everybody in the bar will know the password. It would be kind of like
Yep. It seems to be a spot. Like, keep in mind when you're in that building, and then you exit that building, and now you're in kind of like an exposed area, like it's kind of like walkways underneath that you could probably sneak into without going through the bar if you were in a skiff boat or something like that, or even if you were in the water directly. So you may have to say the phrase you don't know, or maybe it's a whole different phrase. You don't know.
I'm gonna try tide gifts.
Okay. And you are, she taps her quill, and then she says, token or other payment, please. She kind of takes note.
I'm gonna give her a token.
Okay. Which token are you giving her?
How much? I'm gonna give her 1 gold.
Oh, you're going to give her gold. You're going to give her a coin.
Yeah.
All right. Behind her, you hear the faint scrape of weapons drawn, but then resheathed again. A nearby rope twitches and traps that you see. There are traps below as you are let to pass. So he does step aside. The guards do step aside, and the Tallyber woman narrows her eyes and just kind of nods to you. Now we get to the other three of you that are behind. And at this point, you've now noticed, you see the back of that individual that was with you up ahead, about maybe four bodies ahead. She skipped the line and kind of went through on her own. So you guys now do the same thing. You're brought down to this area underneath the bar where you were gathered, kind of exposed, partially exposed to the elements. It's plankways and that lead to this sail-covered space. Actually, I should. There we go. That this area that twists beneath beams and whatever. So you go through and there's net, and you see these two guards, and then there's this woman with narrow eyes and a tally board taking notes, and she's stopping everybody, and she basically says the same thing. Password, token, or payment. And this time she actually adds, otherwise tide carries you out. That phrase, Fade, is very, very well known. When someone says tide carries you out, it basically means you've made it this far, so pay up appropriately or you're not getting out alive. This is a very, like, you're seeing now that you're in part of the underworld that you've heard about through your connections around town, but you never thought you'd experience.
With my carved tooth that is, chilled to the touch, and that when you hold it, you can hear that backward tide song.
Yeah,
would that be considered a token?
It would be considered a token.
So she would offer that up.
She holds it in her hand, and you kind of see the corner of one corner of her mouth go up, and she nods to the two behind her, and they part and let you pass without question. Dell and Cassanthor, who are yet to go through, notice that the woman, once Fade walks through, she pockets that particular token. Doesn't put it in the lockbox that's there with her with the tally board. So Dell, what are you doing when you gets to your turn and she says that same phrase?
I'll look at her and I'll say, hey, the tide takes and the tide gives. I'll give her a wink.
That's all you're giving her?
Yep.
So you give her a wink. Make me a persuasion roll.
I got this.
Oh, yeah, with my 0.
Never know.
Oh, fuck me, 19.
She gives you a wink back, nods to the two, and they part, and lets you through. And then you hear very quietly as you're passing, "I'll find you later."
Yeah, you will.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
All right.
It was, she's,
You offered a different kind of.
I had you roll. I'm sorry. I said I had in my head 19 or 20. It's going to work. Well, you rolled 18. My goodness.
All right, I did. Yeah, all right.
So, Cassador, you're hearing this phrase again. You're hearing password, token, or payment. Otherwise, the tide carries you out. And you've seen Fade give this the Fang charm. You've just seen Dell give a wink. You've seen Celine up ahead give coin. You see people giving all kinds of things. Sometimes they're given like the normal tokens you see shared around Kelpwood. Some are giving shell marks. Some are giving coin. There's a couple of gems exchanging. What are you doing at this point as you get up there?
Cass walks up. Tide takes, tide gives. And then drops 2 shell marks and some jerky.
And some jerky. You actually hear it sounds like a chuckle made of hisses. It's like a raspy and she pushes it off the side. She puts the shell marks in the box. She keeps the eel jerky sitting there, and you are allowed to pass and enter as well. So now the 4 of you.
Good for you. It's really good.
The spiral marked sailcloth flutters aside as doors behind it actually creak open. Warm light and the murmur of tense voices spill out. Beyond lies the Black Coral Exchange, the floor, the deal that could shape Kelpwood's underworld.
Ooh, cool.
Yeah. Lanterns flare against the salt-stained timbers of the undercroft of the Weeping Net, perhaps you'd call it. Crates from makeshift benches, and smugglers crowd shoulder to shoulder, clutching tokens, coin purses, and more. A masked auctioneer stands at the front of the room and raises a hand calling for silence as a barnacle-crusted crate is rolled forward. A bidding begins almost immediately in a flurry of shouted numbers, clinking of shell marks, coin purses being rattled, until a sudden cry cuts through the din. One bidder lunges for the crate, steel flashing. Another shoves back, fists flying. In an instant, the auction floor erupts into chaos. Tables and benches and ladders and everything around is being overturned. Fists are again flying everywhere. You got blades out. What are you guys doing? Are you diving into the fray? Kind of staying back and grabbing for what the hell's going on, or are you just trying to say, you know what, let's get the hell out of Dodge? What's your intent? You guys are all kind of together at this point for the first time in a group. So
kind of back up to a wall and just kind of try to hold my ground there and watch everybody else do their craziness.
Okay, so
they're probably going to stop it. Yeah. Ready.
So you stood back but readied yourself. Okay, what about Celine?
So just to make sure, is the crate that we're looking for is right there, right?
The one guy has it, yes. And
okay,
there are guards around him.
How big is the crate? Can Celine take it in her hands, or
one person can carry it? It's a small crate, but it's got it looks like it's been waterlogged for a while. It's got barnacles on it.
Okay.
And it's been unopened. It's clearly unopened, but again, it's there.
Sorry guys, I feel like I'm the chaotic player right here. I'm gonna cast sleep.
Okay. And you're gonna target on the auction overseer?
Yes, it's in 20. Celine sends creatures in a 20-foot radius into a magical slumber. She rolls 5d8, and the total determines how many hit points of creature the spell affects. Creature with the lowest hit points are affected first.
Okay. So roll 5d8.
Hopefully, guys, you will not fall asleep.
Nah, I think we have too many hit points.
Well, no, you're targeting the area. You've targeted the 20-foot area. They're not in it.
Oh, good. Great. Yeah. I don't want to make you sleep.
Yeah, I don't think it works. I think we have too many hit points. We wouldn't be the first ones.
Did I do it well? 21. It says
20.
Ivory.
21 points of hit points. Fall asleep. No, that's the wrong person. That's where's that? No, it's okay. One of the four thugs, the enforcers that are with the crate, yawns. That's the effect of your spell.
Great.
And what's the radius of that? Just so I know.
20-foot radius.
So let's see. You do notice that there are 6 individuals that are kind of crowded around as well that are gathered. Some were seated on crates and they've kind of slumped to one side.
Okay.
One just fell off a crate. One was standing and actually dropped sleeping. The thugs are now more on guard and ready, as is the main fellow. So they've kind of been tipped off to something happening. So Del, what are you doing as you notice Fade kind of stand back and ready herself? This other individual that you're with, that you're not really familiar with, has made some gestures, and this all of a sudden happens. Some individuals have fallen asleep. What are you doing?
I'll pull out my bow, but I won't do anything just yet.
So you're readying.
Yeah. I'm gonna ready myself because just because you can almost tell that moment of, oh shit, it's gonna happen is gonna happen.
Something's going down, and you're noticing it.
Yeah, when the tension breaks, I want to be ready for it.
Okay, Castanthor, what are you doing when you're seeing this?
Okay, so everyone's pretty much broken out into a brawl, but
Well, it looks like that. Like it looks like you're right on that edge. You've got two distinct. Oops, forgot to check something. W. Dill, hello. My apologies. I didn't see you come in. I do try to acknowledge people when they come in, but sometimes I forget to check. So yeah, you've kind of noticed there's two distinct sides. Like those thugs, they seem to be working for opposing sides. They're guarding that crate from two different sides. There's other interests at play here. And then there's the auction overseer, and then there's everybody else, which you're not sure if they're with these bigger enforcers or whether they're independent buyers. Like you don't know what the whole situation is because things haven't been able to get to us. People were shouting out there was chaos, and then this happened. So
Cassanthor is going to rage and scream and yell and try to get everyone to stop.
Okay. So you've buffed out. I will let you guys know that there are overturned tables and crates and benches everywhere. So if anything happens, you can choose to use them as half cover, giving you +2 to your armor class.
Cool.
For that. However, it is also difficult terrain if you're trying to move. Because you're climbing over things and everything else. It's crazy. There are lanterns that are swaying about low from different points you got to be careful of. And the crowd is very restless. You're not sure what they're going to quite do yet. So you are buffing yourself up, Cassanthor. And at this point, shouts begin to echo louder and the smoke in the smoke haze chamber. The two crews that you've kind of noticed that have those enforcers close at hand with the crate begin to clash violently over this crate that's there. Desperate bidders are scattering everywhere. Bids are still being shouted, oddly enough, in the chaos, but it's just so much going on. You spot the auctioneer, the person that's in charge. You spot a ledger, a book tumbling from their stand where they're standing with as all this chaos is erupting. The fight is happening. The ledger that was in front of them has toppled onto the floor. Perhaps it's a clue of what this is. You're not sure, but in order to get to it, you're going to have to survive this chaotic battlefield in front of you. Anybody that's doing an immediate action that has a held out action they wish to use now, they can. Otherwise, those who choose to get involved can roll initiative.
Fade would try to make her way to the auctioneer. Does that mean that I'm rolling initiative because I have to fight my way there?
Whereas you got to fight your way through the mess.
I don't think I want to do anything just yet. So I'll just roll it.
You get first attack action, Fade, to get in there. You can make an action because you were held. You were already waiting for something to happen. You've decided at this point you're moving in and you're taking an action. So You're heading straight to the auctioneer.
Yep.
You don't notice the book tumbled. Cassanthor did. So what are you doing when you reach the auctioneer? He seems to be concerned with all this chaos that's going around.
She would get where he could hear her right in his ear. Are you gonna stop this mess or what?
He just kind of he looks at you briefly. I'm trying.
I'll help.
Celine, what are you doing?
I am going to steal the crate.
So okay, so you are going to have to roll an initiative.
Yeah. It's a
Del, what are
D20,
you
right?
doing? You have a held action. You get to go first before initiatives. So, Del, are you doing anything specific?
If I can help her steal the crate, I will try.
Okay, so you do notice that she's going towards, as
Yeah.
everything's going on, she's going towards that crate.
We seem to have the same kind of goal in mind, so I'll assist her any way I can.
My man, my dwarf.
Okay, Cathanthor, what are you doing?
Cass has a huge grin on his face, and he is wading directly into that brawl.
Okay, so you're rolling initiative as well. So Del, Celine, and Cathanthor do have to roll initiative as you are moving towards the crate to get involved. And Fade, you are kind of on the edge, so you as well can roll initiative, but you get advantage on your initiative roll because you're working with the auctioneer to try and take his side to get things under control.
Okay, it's still a 15.
Okay, so Fade is a 15. Celine, what is your initiative?
15.
15 as well. Which one of you has the better dex?
That's 16 plus 3.
Same.
Jeez.
Rollies!
Rollies! 1d20 to see who gets the higher number goes first.
She can go first. I don't mind.
Oh, you're just gonna give up the spot? Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna give her my spot.
Okay, so you're gonna go on 16 Fade, and Celine, you're gonna go on 15. Del, what's your initiative?
19.
19. And Cathanthor.
16 plus 3, 19.
Wow.
So, which one of the two of you have the better dex?
I'm 16.
Hey, you're higher than me.
Okay, so Cass is going on 20, and Del is going on 19. All right. So, top of the round, this is a combat situation. There are fists flying. There are weapons being swung. You could very well be anybody's target at any time. So, you need to make an action accordingly. So, Cathanthor, you are at the top of the round as you're wading into this combat area. What are you doing?
Is there enough
target? What are you after?
Is there enough room here for me to grow large, or am I still my regular medium?
You're large, and you're taking up a big amount of space.
All right. So trying to get to the crate. Yeah, pretty much anyone who is in my way when I am heading towards the crate. I don't want to kill anybody, so I'm just
you're swinging punches.
I'm swinging punches.
Okay.
I'm with non-lethal damage. Can I do that?
All right.
No.
So you are unaware of what Fade and the the auctioneer have arranged. So the first person that appears to be in your way, in front of the crate, is the auctioneer.
Oh, so there's no brawl in front of me. Like I'm not.
There's people brawling, and the auctioneer is in the middle of the brawl as well. And it looks like Fade is in the middle of the brawl. So again, you don't know who's fighting who at this point.
Okay.
You know that Fade's not fighting you, and you're not fighting Fade. So that's the only thing you're aware of.
Fade looks like she's protecting the auctioneer.
Yeah. So if Fade's doing that, then Cass is going to be making sure no one gets to.
So you're moving past them, not engaging in them, but you're moving towards the other thugs that are involved in the brawl around the crate. Like they're directly around it.
Yeah, to keep them away from the crate and Fade and the auctioneer.
So roll me a to hit roll.
15.
That hits. You hit one of the thugs.
All right. 11 unarmed damage. The max that I can do.
He's knocked back. Like you hit him good. He's not unconscious or down, but you punched him hard. And in return, one of the other thugs the other thug that was with him,
I get 2 attacks.
Okay, make another attack.
If I knocked him away from me, if that's what it physically happened, then I would just go to whoever's the closest to me.
So it'd be the one next to him.
All right.
You only knocked him back like a few feet. You made him stagger back. You punched him hard.
Yeah, 19 to hit.
You hit.
And 9 damage.
Okay. And you are still going to take a couple of shots as both of them now will try to swing back against you rather than against the other thugs because you hit them. They are stepping forward with a mace attack. Like they're using a weapon. They're not using their fist.
Oh, that's going to suck for them.
The one, 21 to hit.
That hits.
5 points of bludgeoning damage, which you reduced to probably 2.
2.
Yeah. And the other one, I'm sure that misses. That's only a 13. So, yeah.
That does miss.
That's a miss. So that is the top of the round. Del, you're up. You see Cass bypass the auctioneer and Fade standing there and then move forward to the thugs that were engaged. But 2 of the thugs now seem more intent on fighting Cassanthor than they are fighting the other thugs.
What is going on? What is the crate situation? Who has
the crate is right in front of the 2 individuals that are no longer engaged in a combat.
Okay. So does that mean the crate is now unguarded?
No, it means it's more guarded. The 2 individuals that were involved in a brawl are now focused on the crate.
Okay. Is there you said there was a bunch of like hanging torches from the ceiling, right? Or like hanging lanterns?
There's torches and sconces. There's lanterns sitting on top of crates. There's lanterns hanging from old rafters and beams. Okay. It's just...
Is there
a lot of oil smoking around.
Is there a lantern hanging from a lamp that is like from rafter that is close to us?
Yeah, within a reasonable amount. Yeah.
Can I try to
make an acrobatics roll?
What's up?
Make an acrobatics roll.
Yeah, sure. To shoot down the.
Oh no, you're gonna shoot it down.
Yeah. Can I use my longbow and just try to ping it off and like have it smash down on the ground and create a distraction?
Yes. So roll a d20. Or roll your to hit roll.
Yeah. There you go. Let's see. Not bad. 19.
19. You actually do hit part of the rope and fray it to the point where it's not loose yet, but it looks like it's ready. It's going to drop. Like it's unfrailing. You know what I mean? You've cut the rope and it's starting to.
Does that count as my attack action?
If you have 2 actions. Unfortunately, because that was a targeted shot, that is an attack action.
Okay. No, that's fine. So that's my attack action. So I can use my extra attack then?
Yep. If you have an extra attack, go ahead.
We'll take another shot at it. I really want to create a distraction here. No, that's not going to hit. 9. I'm assuming misses.
Yeah, it misses and goes and thunks into the old dirt clay walls.
I used to be good at this. I have bonus actions. Not really. No, not really. I'm good.
Okay. I am going to have one of those free thugs because now what's happened is the auctioneer and, of course, Fade in return are moving towards trying to secure that crate. And those 2 thugs that are now free and clear of their combat situation because Cassanthor is distracting them. You guys are now the target of, or Fade and the auctioneer are now the target of the 2 thugs. So one is going to take a shot at the auctioneer and rolls a 13. That is going to miss barely the auctioneer. And the other one rolls a plus 22 to hit against Fade.
That will hit. She curses that she doesn't have the freedom to move properly in this place to avoid it.
Yeah, it's because you're involved in a bar brawl, so if you kind of step out of line to go in another direction, there's a good chance that someone else is going to clock you on from another side. You're kind of trying to isolate yourself or compartmentalize yourselves into a situation where it's just you versus whoever, not a mass crowd of people, right? So you will only take it's 6 points of bludgeoning damage as this mace clocks you upside the shoulder and does that. So that is their action. The auctioneer will make an attack on one of the thugs. Actually, does he get 2 attacks? Yes, he does. And he will hit on the second one. And he will do damage there. So, okay. So now we move on to Fade. You're up, and Celine, you're on deck.
Well, I'm gonna swing my, since we're fighting in this area and there's everybody here and lots of people in a small area, she's using her quarterstaff, and she's afraid to do really any sorceress stuff because she doesn't want to hit anybody else or anything. So she's just going to clock that guy that just hit her with the quarterstaff. Okay. That is a 19 to hit.
19 will hit for sure.
All right, and then it's bludgeoning damage. 4 points.
Okay. Clock him
Bonus action to activate her innate sorcery in case she needs it.
Okay, so that has now been activated. Celine, you're up. What are you doing?
So sorry, I'm eating gummy bears. I am going to cast mirror image.
Okay.
So I will have 3 illusory duplicates of me, and each time I'm targeted by an attack roll, I will roll a d20 to see if the attack hits one of my duplicates instead.
Okay, sounds
and
fair.
My duplicates have an AC of 13 plus my dexterity modifier, and they disappear if they hit.
So there are now multiple Celines in this crowd.
Yeah, and they all have a 16 to hit them.
Okay.
And
so that's what
then,
you have done. So now, yep.
What were you saying, Deacon? Sorry.
No, go ahead.
And then, so it makes that. And then, as a bonus action, I am going to. Sorry, I'm looking for it. Transform. I'm going to transform and shift into my hybrid form.
Oh my.
Okay.
That's my bonus action.
Yep. So you are now what? What are they looking at?
Oh my god. A werecat / like panther.
Cool.
Yeah, a werepanther.
Cool.
I have
LivePlay, right off the bat. Normally, for people watching the live stream, the cursed folk are no longer an actual normal playable race for our PCs. However, there were characters in play already before we kind of made that adjustment to the system. Celine there are still lycanthropes in this world. However, they're not usually a playable ancestry. Cassanthor, you know what she is. She is cursed folk werecat. Clearly cursed as far as the beast folk are concerned. You may have sympathy for, you may dislike, whatever it is, but they're not natural. They are cursed into the shape that they are. So that is what it is. So Celine, you've transformed. You're now this weird panther ish witch. beneath a cowl that is now. I'm going to basically assume, and I'm going to rule that the mirror images just simply mirror your current image. So they are now all werecats as well. So that's what it appears to be as they're involved. So back to the top of the round, Cass. What are you doing as this? You now have both of these enforcers, or because again there were 4 of them in total, but 2 of them are now focused on you. What are you doing?
Okay, just a mechanics question. Ursus's unarmed strike are considered natural weapons. Would you consider those melee attacks or just unarmed attacks?
No, they're melee attacks.
Okay.
They're a weapon.
Okay, so in that case, I did a 13 and 11 damage to them because my rage would allow me to add 2 extra damage.
Okay.
And so they both swung at me with weapons?
Yes.
Okay. Shouldn't have done that. Cass pulls out his sword with a thunderous scrape as it comes out of his sheath. Takes a swing at the first guy. Still
Careful of your backswing. Don't catch anybody else in it.
Still like non-lethal damage, even though the thunder damage is going to be lethal.
Yeah.
The first guy.
You did this little tiny room with thunder? Oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
11 plus 9, so 20 to hit.
That hits. So the flat of your blade comes down and smacks him.
All right, so that's 5 radiant damage. Oh, I can't make it non-lethal because it's radiant damage. It's all lethal.
Oh, dear. So five,
Oh, yeah.
So 5 radiant.
Yeah, 5 radiant. 12 thunder. So that's 17, and then plus 8 damage. So that's 25 damage.
So you guys see this massive, like he's 10 feet tall at this point. He's literally his head is almost scraping the top of this space that you're in, and he wields out to the side this massive, well, it's magical blade, and turns it sideways and flaps the side of it against the side of the cranium of one of these enforcers, and a loud thunderous boom fills the room. The walls shake, dirt begins to fall from the ceiling. A couple cracks appear in the walls. This massive thunderous boom fills the room, and some people hold their ears. Some of the bidders have cleared out. They've said, "To hell with this; it's not worth it." Whatever it is, and they've cleared the space. So this guy gets hit, and you see him go down like a ton of bricks. Yes, Celine, you have a question?
Can I laugh?
Yes.
Cool. I will laugh. Thank you very much.
Do you laugh or do you almost like cackle?
Cackle. I'm cackling.
Witch's cackle.
So you've got this weird cat witch sitting there cackling as this guy goes down in a heap. And even though your intent, Casanthor, you know it was intended to be non-lethal, and the rage has kind of taken over, and you flapped him. As he hits the ground, there's a lot of blood just pooling out from underneath. So he is definitely unalived at this point. So we say. That being said, do you have another action?
I do have another action.
The guy that was right beside him.
Yeah, I'm going to take a swing at him. Recklessly at him.
Oh, dear.
That is a 19. I got a 10 and a 7.
It's
7 radiant. Oh, shit. 16 thunder. 23.
Jeez.
Are we going to have to break Casanthor out of jail now?
once again,
Plus 8. So
on the backswing,
31
like, this
damage.
was, so you've seen him clock the side of this one guy's head, and you see the guy's head kind of jerk violently to the side as he drops. But on the backswing, Casanthor comes down, and again, with the other flat of his blade, hits the guy that was beside him. And with a thunderous boom, his neck snaps back, clearly unnaturally. as he flops against the side of the wall. So these two particular enforcers are down and gone. You completely snapped his neck and lead him against the wall. That is the end of your turn, Cass.
Yeah, they started it, and yeah.
So you got the weird cat cackling. Cass is sitting there going, "They started it," doing his thing. At this point, Del, you're up.
What is the status of the crate at this point?
It's still between those last two enforcers.
Okay,
and it seems to be Fade trying to get at it along with the auctioneer.
Okay,
at this point.
Okay. So the auctioneer and Fade are trying to fight these enforcers?
Yes, to get the crate.
I just want to make sure. Okay. Okay, cool. Then I'll take a shot at an enforcer. Let's see here. Okay, so
don't forget that arrows are lethal. You can't non-lethal those either.
Oh yeah. Well, are we? Yeah, I guess we're not trying to kill them.
It's totally up to you.
Well, okay, it is up to you, Del, at this point. And you do notice the two bodies that clearly the one guy's neck is busted, like he's gone. And you see from the amount of blood that's pooling out on the ground beside the other one, he's clearly dead. He's not. These guys aren't knocked out. They're not coming back. Cass and Thor has taken out two. And there's still fighting going on around you. There's other parts of this brawl of individuals that are punching each other, and some people are actually getting knocked down and they get back up, and blood spraying here and there and sweat, and it's just it's a mess in the situation at this point.
Yeah,
so, you can make that call. What you choose to do.
I'm still gonna try. Whatever. I will bonus action Hunter's Mark one of the enforcers. Does it matter which one?
No, not really. Doesn't. Well, okay. No, they look about the same. They've been both been damaged about the same.
I will cast Hunter's Mark on one of them, and start my attacks. Okay, so first attack. What's that?
Here we go.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Okay, so my first attack. Because I have Dread Ambusher, I can make, and I'm going to make him my favorite foe, so that adds a D4 to it. So let's see if it hits first. Yeah, that probably hits. 23 to hit.
Oh yeah, that hits.
Okay, so let's add up this first damage. So 3 piercing plus a D4, 5 plus Hunter's Mark, which is a D6. So for the first hit, it's 7 piercing. And then I get a second strike because of Dread Ambusher. Yeah. So let's roll to hit that. I'm assuming a dirty 20 hits.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so that is extra. Holy shit. Okay, so it's already how much did I say already? 4 piercing?
7.
7 piercing? Okay, 7 piercing, plus another 8 piercing on top of that, so that's 15. Now I gotta add all the things for that, which is 15, 16, 17, and a D6 for Hunter's Mark. Sorry about this, guys. 17, and D6, 17, 18, 19, 20 piercing. And then I get one more attack for extra attack. But that probably misses with an 8.
An 8 does miss.
So 20 piercing altogether.
He's bloodied for certain, but he is still standing.
Okay.
But he is bloodied.
That is my long ass turn. Sorry about that.
It's okay. They will make an action. And that is going to be
There's a lot of little things I got to do.
So you've hit him. So, yeah, it's going to hit you for certain because it's a natural 20. So, Del, you got hit. You got smacked. Yeah. It is total of 24 to hit.
That's fine.
14 points of bludgeoning damage. Smack with a mace.
Fun.
Clubs back against you. And with that, that's the end of
for
their
that.
turn. And that brings us to Fade and Celine. You're on deck. Fade, what are you doing?
She would shout to the guy to stand down, or you might end up like those two, pointing to the gesturing the two on the ground. It doesn't seem like it works to the when she says that to the guy.
You're not sure, but you've said it. Roll me intimidation.
Intimidation roll. That is.
And the auctioneer hits the guy that Dell just hit and drops him.
16.
Okay, you rolled a 16, so you said that. So we'll wait until their reaction. Celine, you're up. What are you doing? You hear?
I will. I'm in my.
She shouted them to stop.
Pardon me.
Fade has shouted for them to stop.
Yes. So I will pounce. In my hybrid form. How far am I from the crate?
You're about 10 feet.
Okay, so I can leap up to 20 feet and make a melee attack, and on a hit, the targets must succeed a strength saving throw or be knocked prone.
Okay.
So I'm gonna pounce up to the
You have to
crate
hit him first.
and. Pardon me?
Got to hit him first. So you're pouncing on him. So roll it to hit. See if you land on him, and then he'll make the strength saving throw.
I was not ready to roll a 2 hit, so I'm just. Where is
That's
it?
okay. It's a 1d20 plus your proficiency modifier, plus your strength modifier.
What's my proficiency modifier? My proficiency bonus?
Fifth level is plus 3.
Okay, so it's
So what's your strength?
1d20
Yep.
plus only my strength modifier?
Your strength plus your proficiency.
Okay. And proficiency would be like proficiency bonus in my sheet?
Yeah. Just
Okay,
plus 3.
so it's just a +2 because I have no strength.
No,
proficiency.
plus 3. You actually, because you didn't level up.
I didn't level up.
That's okay. So you are plus 3.
Okay. I have a 15.
Okay. So a 15, you actually hit. You pounce on him, and he makes his strength saving throw. So he is not knocked prone. But you've jumped on him. You've made it. Do you attack him when you jump on him? Are you doing damage? Are you using your claws or anything like that?
No, I don't want to hurt him. I just want to steal the freaking crate.
Okay. So now that we are at the end of the round, I need all of you to make a perception check.
Ooh.
14. Not so bad.
21.
Okay.
21.
Okay. You guys look down and you notice something. Well, 2 of you notice something. 2 of you are not aware at this point. Those of you that rolled over 20, you notice that the smaller crate is gone. The ledger's still there, which could be the proof you need that this crate is in this particular network. But the crate just went missing. But the fight still rages on. So top of the round, Cass, the 2 individuals you were facing is dead. You see the other enforcers. One of them is on the ground. You see your companions, and you see another enforcer, and you also see the auctioneer attacking that enforcer. You're unaware of the missing crate or anything else at this point. So what are you doing?
How far am I away from the auctioneer? And
You're within range of everybody. Like you
Okay.
take a 5-foot step and you're there.
all right, I have range, so I wouldn't need to take a 5-foot step. So, bonus action: the thunderous sword changed to an acrid, dripping acid, and Cass takes a swing, not recklessly, because he doesn't want to hit anyone else, at that one enforcer in front of the auctioneer.
Okay.
27 to hit.
Hits.
Jesus, nice.
So the sword actually cuts into the side of his shoulder. Cuts pretty deep.
All right.
And you guys all notice as it does, the blade is dripping this green ichor as he had swung it down. The same blade that he flapped on the side of this guy and it went boom. Now you see him cut into his shoulder and this green ichor coming out of the sword.
I think your blade has a cold, mate.
We could. 10 radiant, 5, 8, 10 acid, and then 8 damage. So 10, 20, 28. Wait, 10. Yeah, 28
So
damage.
as this cleave comes down, you see the wound open, the shoulder just kind of dangle. That green ichor, you see it burning flesh and burning stuff on contact. As this guy screams, and I mean painfully screams, as he collapses to the ground, dead.
Gosh darn, I told you to stand down.
He had exactly that many hit points, and you took him down. He's unconscious on the floor with acid wounds. Just there's a lot of mess all over the place. And at this point, you're kind of looking around, and the last of these major combatants have fled into the smoke. The undercroft reeks of spilled oil and blood now and sweat. The overturned auction block lies shattered. Amid the wreckage, you find the ledger. You pick it up. You have it. This could be the proof you need of the existence of this, whatever this is, and what's going on with it. Outside, the bells of Kelpwood toll that it's around 11 o'clock. You hear it go off 12 times. Time has passed. Wow. And in the distance, you hear the low rumble of water, but then over top of that sound, you hear the sounds of a barge's oars cutting upriver and into the mist away from where you are. You hear that. Shoot. The undercroft is left in shambles, as I said. Crates are smashed, lanterns guttered in spilled oil, and the stench of that smoke is just clinging to your nostrils, in your clothes, and everywhere. In your hands lies the ledger. Its pages are they seem damp with brine, but clear enough that you can actually read it. The true relic, and this is what it actually says, was never here. It was moved upriver, hidden among caches in the marshes. As you kind of make your way out of this room, as everybody's kind of filing out, the smoke is just, it's unbearable. You're not going to want to stay down there. It's going to have to let it be aired out a little bit. So as you climb back out of this space, the harbor of Kelpwood kind of greets you with a midnight's hush. It's very quiet in this part of the village, in the town. Lanterns do bob on the tides that are floating here and there. Gulls sleep in the rafters. You see them and you hear them cooing, almost like pigeons, where they're kind of sleeping in those spots. Somewhere upriver, faint and distant, you hear the hollow beat of an oarsman counting out a rhythm. The low call of a horn on top of that. A barge, heavy laden, you see faintly in the far distance, disappears into the mist. You guys can all take 310 experience points.
Sorry, how many?
310
Perfect. Thank you.
experience. Excellent. One moment.
I help the auctioneer a little bit. I look at that ledger and see that, and I hand the ledger back to him.
Is there any chance that I can get a look at the ledger to see if I can see the crate and whose name might be attached to it?
Oh yeah, we were all looking at it. You could see that
Yep.
the relic.
Cass can't really read, so he just hands it off.
Yeah, if I can try to figure out whose name is attached to the crate.
Yeah, just 1 second.
Yeah, take a shot.
Give me a second. You are also, as you're kind of returned to like from around the area, you've managed to also gather up each about 47 shell marks worth of, because again, coins and shell marks were scattered everywhere. So again, I always assume the players are wise enough to grab what they can. And you can choose not to take this if you want. If you choose to leave things behind, you can. So that's about 23 gold pieces and 5 silver pieces. But you can mix and match. You can make it any type of currency you want. You can make it gemstones. You can make it, but it's worth 47 shell marks or 23 gold, 5 silver pieces. Just looking at that. There are a few. There is the symbol of Zinthar is in the book or in the ledger. The buyer list is like you're not sure what it is. They're clearly coded names. Silver Veil, Ash Hand, Moth Eater. I mean, they're clearly codes. Not sure who they are. It seems to be like there are some mentions of arrival times, lost crates. Several marked with ink. Several of the entries are marked with Zinthar's symbol. There is a small reference to or a line in there that says a Crimson Gale cutter, and it's right before the lost crate appears. So that is, and again, you've heard the name Crimson Gale. You know it is a pirate faction.
Yeah.
In the southern.
Will write all that information down in notes and like keep it on me. Just so
Yep.
I would ask the auctioneer. It says here in your ledger that the item relic we were all bidding on wasn't even in that crate. So what was in that crate?
He just kind of looks at you for as a decoy. It was never intended to be sold here, but someone wanted to make it look like it was.
I see.
I'm just paid to do a job.
So somebody would have paid the money for it if the fight didn't break out. Won the crate and open it up to find nothing.
Right. And then it could have started possible future. Like, yourself that this incident could have started a town-wide trade war between different factions. And mercantile trade in Kelpwood is part of their everyday life. Trading, bartering, exchanging, it's part of who they are. And an incident like this could have really had devastating circumstances. Other things in the ledger, by the way, you notice that there is like the payments column. They're all tallied in strange coinage. There is a side margin noting a phrase that says the whisper promises return. That's it's what you can make out clear as day. There is no one in the Fade. How many adventures, Fade, did you go on in the Middlelands?
Well, only the Prime Gate ones.
That's it. And Celine, do you remember what? I know you did, I think, 2 Middlelands adventures. Do you know if you were involved in the Coinbound Gilded Hollow adventure, where you went into the treasuries in Gilded Hollow and dealt with cursed coin?
I don't remember.
No, I think that was Luca and Dags.
Luca and
Dags.
Valmil.
No.
Yeah,
I have it here. I'll look. Do you
So
remember?
you guys won't
date?
know what that phrase means. Anybody that was involved in that would recognize that phrase. The whisper promises return. It's definitely part of that thread. And one highlighted note in the book says Barnacle Barge, : Cargo to be weighed in shadows, not in coin.
In shadows?
Yep.
That's weird.
Repeat that again.
In a note, a highlighted note in the ledger, and even the auctioneer doesn't know what that means. Barnacle barge, cargo to be weighed in shadows, not in coin. Basically, in essence, it's basically saying that rather than it be put up for auction for coin, it's to be weighed in the shadows and taken away elsewhere. Those of you that are paying extra attention to the ledger that can read, unfortunately, Castle-Tor's out, but I need an insight check from anybody that's actually really looking at the ledger.
Roll it.
I'm not looking at the ledger.
No. Okay.
Only a 10.
Dirty 20.
Nice.
Okay, the dirty 20. Whoever wrote the ledger, the clerk, was afraid of something larger. Because there's also another note that says the scale will balance even if they drown us all. Now, you all, you guys can pick and choose what you grab. Because as I said, on your way out of that chaotic situation, you grabbed some of those shell marks in the currency. You also grabbed a small item that you were easy enough to carry. So I will let you guys pick. One is a glass eye.
Ooh.
One is a weird-looking silver coin that doesn't look like the rest. There is a charm, like a lantern charm, and a barnacle-crusted key. So who wants one? There's one for each of you. So
Cass would like to add the charm to the rest of the charms that he has that he's collected.
So Cass is interested in that lantern charm.
I'll take the key if nobody minds.
Okay. Everybody okay with that? Fade, Celine?
Yes. So that leaves the glass eye or the silver coin. Do you have a preference, Celine?
I think the glass eye.
That fits witchiness perfect.
Yeah.
I'll take the silver coin.
Okay. So the glass eye. It is the glass eye of the drowned. It's a cloudy glass eyeball set in a copper socket. When held to your eye, you can see faint ripples of ink-like shadow where ether bloom corruption lingers. So if you got the eye, that's what you have at this point, Celine. And an odd quirk about it, sometimes whispers drowned sailors' songs when submerged in water.
Nice, I will sing with them.
Okay, so you've got kind of a really odd item that you managed to that caught your eye, and you picked it up. The coin. The coin is a coin of empty faces.
It's a what?
tarnished silver coin of empty faces.
Coin of empty faces.
Tarnished silver coin whose engravings always change, never showing the same face twice.
Cool.
Flipping it in front of a merchant will give you advantage on one deception check, but only once per day. Afterwards, the coin feels warm for hours.
Once a day.
Once a day. You can flip it in front of a merchant to gain advantage on a deception check.
Okay.
And afterwards, it will feel warm for hours.
Okay.
The charm. It is a tiny moth encased in amber on a cord. The reason I call it a lantern charm, it glows faintly in the darkness, but only in the presence of lies. So around this particular area with all these particular people, it is glowing for sure. And the quirk of the charm is if a speaker knowingly lies within 10 feet, the moth inside will actually beat its wings softly, even though it's encased in air. The key. It's a rusted iron key covered in barnacles. That's what it is. The quirk, when placed against any locked objects, the barnacles seep water as if longing for the sea. Maybe it'll open something along the way, but you're not sure. It just has that. Okay. You can put it up to any lock as you try to. Oh, will it open this? It seeps water out. Again, it seems odd. Like it is clearly a magical key. Yeah. What it fits, you're not quite sure. Okay, so that I will keep basically, kind of for those watching, you would view the lingering on a misty canal going through marshy swampland, following a barge's shadow as it vanishes into the swamp. Somewhere in that fog, unseen eyes are already waiting. With that, guys, thank you very much for tuning in and watching the first episode of Loose Tides. This was Dockside Whispers, and our wonderful cast got to this point, actually avoided for the most part the majority of the combat sequences I had planned. But this last one, it was rather enjoyable and exciting, and I'm really glad you guys helped start the story. Next Tuesday, same time, same channel, we will continue with episode 2, and just to kind of give a little foreshadowing here. So don't get too excited. It's actually entitled Tracks in the Marsh.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool.
So it'll give you a little hint of maybe of what's to come.
We're going to go chase where the relic went.
Yes. Yeah. So for those watching, again, the mini series that I do talk about, these are 4 one-shots that tie together into a mini series that is 4 episodes long. Then I take a week off to rest and recoup. But at the same time, I'm also writing the next miniseries that will be 4 episodes long. Some of these characters may continue to be involved. Maybe other characters, we don't know. We'll find out then. But for the next 3 weeks after today, we have more of Loose Tides, and we don't know what's going to happen. Well, I do know what the next mini adventure is. I can tell you it's heading out to sea a little bit. Away from Kelpwood, but still within the Seahorse Isles range. So it is in the works. It is being planned. I ask everybody who is watching, please tune in on Thursday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Southern Expanse, as we see what that crew is up to. The crew on the Scarlet Reaver, who happen to be under the ranks of the Crimson Gale, who not just a few episodes ago went looking for a missing cutter that had a missing cargo crate in its inventory. So again, we're just
dun, dun, dun.
Tying the story together, even to the point where from like 4 months ago or 5 months ago in the Middlelands, I tied in that cursed coin thing into the coin here. So yeah, it's a thing. I like to do that if I can, to just kind of string different threads of fate, of story across time, and to do that. So again, thank you guys for playing. Thank you guys for watching. Again, the link bio is at the bottom. I would really appreciate you becoming a part of our Discord community at the very least, to come hang out with fellow nerds as we talk geek speak all the time. Maybe do some 24/7 roleplay in our Discord roleplay channels. Maybe get your characters on one of our one-shots and have some fun that way. And of course, if you really like what we do and you really support Foreverland and the work that has gone in to create the world, this campaign setting as it is, we do appreciate Ko-Fi memberships. A certain levels of Ko-Fi memberships gives you free access to all the downloads and availability of everything we produce. There are dozens upon dozens of books, hundreds upon hundreds of pages of just role play material. So if you're a DM looking for a setting, this is it. There's something here for everybody, every possible setting you can imagine. So again, looking forward to that. So until next time, guys, I hope all your rolls are critical, not just the 20, but also that 1, because a 1, you know what? We found out a few times can be just as much fun. We'll see you on Thursday night, and we'll see you, of course, next Tuesday. So bye for now, guys.
Bye.
Bye.